What's up, guys? Welcome to week number 28 of Goggins Force Training and week number 4 of meet prep training for the Forever Strong Classic, or whatever it's called, in September down at Forever Strong Gym in Springfield, Oregon. This week is much better than last week was as far as training. I ended up going into the week just kind of desperately in need of some chiropractic adjustments and things like that. Just residual from the weekend before when we had gone camping, and I spent the night on an air mattress, got me all twisted up. And so I ended up going and seeing my chiro before the deadlift day, but surprisingly the squatting on this day actually went really well. Was able to do some work in through my psoas and hip flexors, and then also down into the right ankle, which had been kind of chronically tight there as well. And the combination of that with the wider stance box squatting actually made everything feel a lot better. So what you're seeing here is just 8 triples with 315 on the Elite FTS SS yoke bar. As you can see, I'm squatting out of the monolift today. Just felt like giving that a try, plus the bar is already set up and I didn't feel like moving it over to the other rack. So I'm kind of doing a hybrid, not walked out, but not didn't work out so well there, but not operated monolift swing out type thing a la Clint Darden, which actually worked pretty okay with the safety bar. I don't think I would actually do that on a straight bar, but either way that worked pretty well. And as you can see, the reps here were all pretty quick and explosive. They felt good. I had no pain or any kind of shuddering, and was pretty happy with how that felt considering how I went into the session that day. Afterwards, was able to push the raw squats up a little bit further than I have in the past. I ended up taking sets at 225 or 235, 285, and 325 for triples. And then after that, I figured I would go ahead and throw on my wraps just to kind of get an idea of how much support I'm going to be getting in the hole relative to the briefs, and was delightfully surprised that it feels pretty comparable. Obviously, it's a little bit different sensation having the support coming around the knees than actually having compression around the hips, but I'm thinking I may actually try doing some kind of passive compression with either like a voodoo floss band or maybe a knee wrap around the high hamstring, kind of similar to what I've seen Matt Wenning do, and also Chris Duffalo as well, and some of the other kabuki guys that have been employing using some of the floss bands around the hips. So hopefully that is something that also helps keep everything protected, since I do tend to squat in a wider stance. But at least for now, I'm pretty confident that I will be able to at least do similar things in wraps to what I have been doing in the briefs. My groove on these squats felt nice and tight. I didn't feel like I was over squatting or dropping too deep, which is something I've actually had a problem with in the past. And you can see my locking out of the hips and quads is pretty well coordinated, since that's sometimes something that goes to shit on me, as I tend to focus more on just the hips. And I attribute a lot of that to just being extra conscious of my rooting with my feet. Even though I've got shoes on, I actually am not wearing socks inside of the squat shoes, and I feel like I can get a little bit better control of where my foot pressure is and what's going on through my toes when I don't have the socks on. So that's something that I most likely will continue to do as well. But I was just pretty happy with how these 2 sets ended up going. So took this set of, I believe, 2 reps here with 325, and then threw quarters on there, took 375 for a single after this, which moved pretty well. I didn't necessarily put a whole lot of force into the bar and try and make it move quickly. I just wanted to get a feel for how everything was going to feel back in a pair of knee wraps on my hip and hamstring. So this is just a very light wrap, but either way, moved pretty well. So at least be able to get somewhere in the 4s or maybe 5. I don't know really what I'm looking at as far as openers. I think it's a little too soon to tell, and a lot of that is going to be dependent on how healthy I can stay throughout this prep. As much as I want to stay true to my plan of just kind of going in and having fun, I wouldn't mind hitting a 500-pound squat and going something like 5, 4, and 6, but that's we'll see. We'll see. That's just me wanting to play numbers games again. So I don't think that is an unrealistic goal for this meet, especially based on how things have been feeling. So we will see. But in the meantime, I will try to avoid playing any kind of number games. Anyways, decided to shoot some of the pause lighter bench sets from a different angle here, just to get an idea of my touch point consistency and just fuck around with a new angle that I haven't really shot at. Those all felt good. Still practicing trying to get the bar lowered faster, but that is something else that I also suck at and need to improve on. So that brings us to the lighter pulls for this week. Hit 7 singles at 315 plus 80 pounds worth of chain, all with the hook grip, and you can see my good positioning and bar path are all back. I don't think straps is going to be a thing for me, at least for a while. This is not the time to try and learn it. I can just get in so much better of a position when using the hook grip, and I also feel like when I take my grip out of the equation altogether, it actually, that disconnect with the bar affects my ability to create tightness for some reason. I've kind of always noticed this with straps, whether even using the mixed grip or the hook grip. For some reason, being able to just get my hands activated, I feel like I can create better tightness throughout my body. So I will still probably do the majority of my training with the hook grip, and I'll just kind of suck it up and figure out how to deal with doing some reps or something. So I just don't see straps being a major thing, at least for my pulls from the floor. Rack pulls seem to be fine, but for now, that's just not something that I need added to my plate of things to work on. Brings us to the bench day for this week. Was scheduled for anywhere from 4 to 5 triples at 370 for a top weight. So you're seeing my final warm-ups at 295 and this is 335 for a double. Everything felt pretty good. I ended up taking 4 triples at 370, which is a volume PR at this weight. I've done a 3x3, but I've not ever gone up and over that. So the goal will be to basically still keep the 4 or 5 sets as a benchmark. I think we're going up to 380 next week, although I will be benching on a Thursday night instead of a Saturday just because of some schedule conflicts over the weekend. So hopefully I can match the sets and reps with a little bit heavier weight and keep pushing the volume up as we keep moving towards heavier weights. But overall, these felt pretty good. My touch point was consistent, my bar path was nice and smooth, and I didn't have any kind of weird looseness in through the shoulders as well. So I'm going to keep up on my shoulder mobility since I will be squatting on the straight bar on Monday after this workout here. So I got to keep my shoulders not too gummed up so that way I can have another productive bench session again on Thursday. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I just made a bunch of major website updates to savagegym.com. You can also reach the site through savagebarbellclub.com. So if you haven't done that at all recently, then go check that out. Take a look at some of the new content that's on the website and some of the new programs and services that we offer here at the gym. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will talk to you next week.